What the heck is all this? You know what? I can work with it. Hey, my name is Ben. I use he, him pronouns, and you know what? Lately, I've had the holidays on the brain. I am a big fan of the holidays, Christmas in specific, which is what I celebrate. But you know what? Honestly, that opinion's been kind of shifting lately. I'm a queer person, and when I think of the holidays, I think of things like Christmas movies and media around the holidays, and you know what? I don't really see other queer people in them. And at that, I have a lot of queer friends for whom the holidays are kind of just this complicated time where they have to go back and see family who might not be the most accepting or be putting themselves in uncomfortable situations. So the bottom line is, I want to know more about the holidays, how queer people are dealing with it, how queer people of color are dealing with it, and how they feel about the holidays in general. So I'm gonna go talk to people. Why don't you come join me? I'm gonna start by talking with Maha and Taylor. They're a Muslim couple out of Kingston, and they run this podcast called The Queer Muslim Resistance. They've got some really interesting ideas about the holidays, especially as people who don't necessarily celebrate like a religious holiday during that sort of December break period. All right, let's jump to our conversation now. Hi, well, thank you so much for meeting me here today.
Thank you for having us, Ben. It's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see you, Ben.
So how do you two both celebrate the holidays?
For me, the holidays mean food and family. So taking some time off to eat and to spend time with people who sometimes get on my nerves and many other times bring me immense joy.
So when we've talked before, I think you mentioned that you kind of have some positive feelings about the holidays, but also some negative ones. Do you think you could tell me about that sort of duality?
For me, it's the duality is there because it's nice, obviously, to see family and friends and people that you love, but there's always that kind of complicated relationship that I have with my family, especially due to queerness or my queerness. So that can be, it's a little hard to kind of make the time to see people and to center that time around people when our relationships may or may not be in the best kind of space.
They had some really cool ideas, and you know what? They kind of got me thinking. Where do you go if maybe you don't have the best relationship with your family? Well, Daintree Topshee, who's an Ottawa local, kind of has a solution for folks in her circle. She runs a Gays and Strays dinner. It's sort of a place where all of her gay friends come together, and also folks who maybe don't really have anywhere to go for Christmas dinner. Hi, Daintree.
Hello. Hi there, Ben. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Come on in. Or nope, I guess not.
Yeah, come on out, eh?
It's come on out. Hi.
Hi, Daintree. It's so nice to be speaking with you. Do you think you could introduce yourself, please?
Yes, sure. I'm Daintree Topshee, and I guess I'm one of those people that likes to make sure that Christmas is something we celebrate with all sorts of people. So every Christmas I pull in my Gays and Strays and we have dinner.
Well then, do you think you could tell me what those dinners are like?
Lots of people around the table, lots of different people, cocktails, of course, all the fixings, and then lots of laughter, jokes, Christmas crackers, the flaming pudding.
Watch out, stay back.
What's the Daintree doing?
Woo! Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So a lot of the British traditions, but we just bring in and make sure it's very inclusive for everyone and that everybody gets to laugh and carry on.
Okay, I seriously might have to go to one of those dinners. They look so fun. But you know what? I still want one more perspective. I want someone who can tell me big picture, like an academic. And I think I know the perfect person. So Shoshana Magnet is a professor of feminist and gender studies at the University of Ottawa. And I feel like she can tell me a lot about queer relationships, society, and everything I kind of want to know. Let's go to her now. Hi, Shoshana. It's so nice to be sitting with you here today. Do you think you could introduce yourself for folks who might not know?
Sure, I'm Shoshana Magnet. I'm a professor in the Institute of Feminist and Gender Studies. And then I'm also a lesbian parent in a blended family. And I'm also the daughter of lesbian grandmoms of my sons. So I have a queer family all around me.
I guess as a queer person myself, I kind of feel like queer traditions are important to me, but I want to know more broadly, why are queer traditions or queer specific traditions important?
I guess, queer traditions, like I think about them as interrupting like a whole range of things. Like queer traditions interrupt like settler colonialism. Like there's a queer tradition called Friendsgiving that people have really done in order to Thanksgiving has, the genocidal implications that all kind of settler colonial holidays do, and like thinking about kinship in really broad terms, like what it means to be connected, not just to your biological family, but to your friends, and to value those connections.
Do you think you could tell me a little bit more about that kinship word that you mentioned? I think I'd want to know a little bit more.
The thing that queer kinship does is it really extends beyond biological family. It allows us to think about all the ways that we're connected to one another all the time. And in communities of color, queer folks have been doing this for a long time. And I think all of us are really hungry to extend our loving bonds beyond the biological family.
So I've learned a lot. Everyone I've met kind of celebrates the holidays in their own way, whether it's celebrating or not. It's not necessarily traditional, but it's theirs. It's what works for them. I think what Shoshana and everyone I've talked to has really been getting across is that you don't really have to celebrate the holidays in a certain way. You can kind of just do whatever works for you, and the results can be pretty cool.